if you have a milkshake, and I have a milkshake, and I have a straw, there it is, that's a straw, you see, watching, and my straw reaches across the room and starts to drink your milkshake. I drink your milkshake. I drink it up.
Are you all right?
Yeah, this? I was running.
Okay, because you're bleeding.
Oh, shit. Is it bleeding again? I'm sorry. These are hornet stings, you know? I run into like a lot of hornets in my line of work, and I get stung up like bad all over my face and stuff, and then, you know, it starts bleeding.
Oh, that sounds interesting.
Yeah.
What is it that you do again?
I'm like a janitor, and I'm a full-on rapist, you know? Africans, dyslexics, children, that sort of thing.
I'm sorry. Did you say you're a full-on rapist?
No. No. I help people. You know what I mean? I'm a
philanthropist?
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. It gets blocked up in my mouth. I don't say it no good. Oh. I'm a janitor at a bar.
You know how I know that you're gay? You like the movie Made in Manhattan?
You know I know you're gay?
How?
I saw you make a spinach dip in a loaf of sourdough bread once.
You know how I know that you're gay? How? You have a rainbow bumper sticker on your car that says, I love it when balls are in my face.
That's gay?
God damn it.
I'm ripping your head off right now. It's off, and now I'm throwing it at your body. Fuck you! Oh.
You guys, she's picking me up in an hour.
Oh, drag, dude.
Wait, she's picking you up from here?
Yeah.
That's fucked up, man.
Why?
Why? Seriously. I mean, look at this place, man. You gotta see this through the eyes of a woman, you know? What is she gonna think when she comes in here? Oh, look, he's got a billion toys.
So what?
And more video games than a teenaged Asian kid.
All right.
Is that the $6 million man's boss?
It's Oscar Goldman.
Why do you have that?
That's worth a lot of money. That's much more valuable than Steve Austin.
Well, that may be the case, but none of this shit is sexy, okay?
I'm not trying to be sexy, man.
I mean, there's Asia? You framed an Asia poster? How hard did the people at the frame store laugh when you brought this in?
They did not laugh at me.
Know why you're gay? Because you like Asia.
You guys cool it with the gay.
Sorry about that.
All right, Mel. Hand over your license and registration. Your registration? Hurry up, Meow.
Sorry.
There's something funny here, boy?
No.
Well, then why are you laughing, Mr. Larry Johnson? All right, Meow, where were we?
Sorry, are you saying meow?
Am I saying meow?
I thought...
Don't think, boy. Meow, do you know how fast you were going? Meow, what is so damn funny?
I could have swore you said meow.
Do I look like a cat to you, boy? Am I jumping around all nimbly-bimbly from tree to tree?
No.
Am I drinking milk from a saucer?
No.
Well, do you see me eating mice? Hey, you stop laughing right now.
Yes.
Meow, I'm gonna have to give you a ticket on this.
But...
No buts, Meow. That's the law. Not so funny, Meow, is it?
One more.
Meow.
What we about to do, cuz?
We about to get fucked up.
Cigarettes, heroin.
We about to get fucked up.
Coke, crack, ice, uppers, downers, methamphetamines. Certain things get me to floating off the balanced emotion. I keep toting, keep loping, keep smoking and choking, keep tooting, keep aiming, paranoid, rebuke.
got low eyes, high sensitive level with no ties except to my homeboys, my family, and my life. Get your lighters and prepare for the brush fire. Get high and high and high, more and more high. Niggas, we fucked up. Every day, all day, all night. Every day, all fucking night. Every motherfucking night. With a fifth of Hennessy, I'm buzzed. With a quarter pound of bud. Me and my niggas.
Daz and Corrupt and Daz. What's up, motherfuckers? I'm back. I gave you the week off last week. No more mercy. We're back. Well, I'm back. Diver's at, he's down at the, so, I think it's the All-Star race? He's down at the All-Star race, I think it's the All-Star race, but he's down in Charlotte at the racetracks all weekend. I really wish I got the race thing. I just don't get it. I just don't get it. He tried to. I remember we were watching it once, and he was trying to explain how there's like it's a team sport too, and different racers will do things to help other people out. Which I guess I kind of saw a little bit in Ricky Bobby. I need to pull some clips from Ricky Bobby. Speaking of Ricky Bobby, but anyway. Yeah, I get it. I guess there's strategies to it now, but it's driving around in a circle. Like, I don't know. I just can't do it. But he loves it. I wonder what happened if you just had everyone switch directions. Like, now that would make it more interesting. If they had a race, if they had a race, does a figure eight? Yeah, if they had a race where they had to turn left every once in a while just to fuck it up, I would watch that. And what was it? We talked about, if they would come out with some fucking Mario Kart shit, I would watch that. If they can drop, banana peels and have the car behind them spin out and shoot rockets at each other and shit, I would start watching NASCAR. I would do it. I don't think they're going to do that though, so I'm going to keep not watching it. So I got Spike on my TV because there's Bellator on. I don't know, I don't know who anyone is in Bellator. I'm fine with them now. Like, I have it on. I'm good now that Bjorn's out of there. But I think Coker might come up a little bit later too. But I really don't know most of the fighters. And I guess the champion who's fighting, actually I know Kendall Grove. Kendall Grove is fighting for the title tonight. The champion missed weight apparently, and they already said that he's being stripped. If he doesn't matter if he wins or loses, he's not going to be the champion anymore. That's a hell of a punishment, and I think I'm okay with it. I know it seems really severe and it seems harsh, but look, these guys are professionals and they're signing agreements to do a certain thing. If you're in super good communication and you have an injury or something, maybe the promotion could let it slide. But most of the time this doesn't happen like that. So keep in mind about Paulo Filho. I mean, that's one of the things that would have helped Chael out, is if they'd have just said, if, like they're doing tonight, if Kendall wins, he's the champion, but if he loses, the other guy is not. And essentially Chael is a WEC champion. He has the belt. Fucking, what's his name sent him the belt? Ed Suarez. Everyone knows what happened that fight, but it's just one of those things that would have made it official. And I never understood that. I never, ever understood how they would let the champion miss weight and punish the challenger. It just doesn't seem fair. And maybe that's changed. I don't know. I don't know if it's based on where it is or whatever. But yeah, so I got Bellator on my TV, and I was out of town last weekend, so I watched the main card of last week's fights, and I have the prelims. This is the second prelim. I should skip the walkout and just get to up here, because I know a couple of these went the distance. So I haven't seen the prelims. I want to see Beck Hyatt's fight a lot. Is it still Hyatt, or what's her other name? Now I can't remember which one. Which name is she now? She's Beck Rawlings. Okay, I want to see Beck Rawlings fight. I heard Sam Alvey's fight was and it was a fast knockout. I want to see that. There's a couple fights that I want to really want to check out. So this is the Grujic fight that he lost. I just watched the Ben Nguyen versus Alpatine Ozil kick where Ozil kick got his ass knocked out, TKO right at the end. It was a good stoppage. That was a good finish. This is Brandon O'Reilly decisioning Vic Grujic. Alex Chambers beat Caitlin Curran. I was sad to hear that. I was keeping up with it. So I was at Busch Gardens last week, and I was keeping up with the fight results on my phone. I have a great time when I go. We used to go all the time, years ago, and we had annual passes and all that shit. I never canceled mine because I kind of forgot about it. It's just something that just kind of slipped through the cracks because I don't do a great job keeping up with my finances. I know there's money in the account, and I just kind of blow everything off. I check and make sure I don't need to transfer from, I have a business and a personal, transfer from one account to the other. But I don't understand. I just don't how people can do these roller coasters without with their hands in the air and shit. So I don't like roller coasters, but I usually go on one every time we go. That's just kind of how it's worked. I went on one that was really fucked up. That was last time we went. That was the Verbolten. That was a fucked up coaster. So they had a new coaster. I didn't go on that, but I went on a new one for me. It's an old one as far as everyone else is concerned, and it's a favorite. It's called the Grizzly, and I don't know how the fuck high you go up in the air. But it's got what I thought was a straight down drop. But after I've ridden it, I think they actually cut the angle in some. It's not straight down. I think they cut in so that makes you feel like you're flying forward a little bit. But it's got a really fucking tall, nasty one. And here's the suck-ass part. When you get to the fucking top and you're hanging over the edge, it stops you. So you're just looking straight down for 5 seconds, and I know very well it's 5 seconds because I counted numerous times. I had to psych myself up for this one. Everyone was like, "Are you gonna go on a ride? Are you gonna go on a ride? Are you gonna go on a ride?" And I was like, "I don't know. I don't know." And I didn't know. I went ahead and did it, and I literally kept staring. I was like staring it down, just watching people go over and just like. This is stupid, but I'm gonna do it anyway. I also spent $40 on a picture pass, so every ride that we go on, we get a free picture. And those things, we've spent a lot of money on those, usually because of me. We actually bought the video. There's video on Verbolten. We actually bought the video. So there's a little Kimura attempt. You're not gonna get it there. Well, actually, I guess I know he's not going to get it there because I know this one goes a distance. But anyway, so I bought one of those, and my nephews and niece and friends and stuff were posing on this. So this fucking Grizzly. So you go like there's two of those drops. One of them's not as big as the other one. The first one's the bad one. And as we're going up, Mama Bear's like sitting there like, "Oh, come on, it's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine. Just relax. Look, when you get to the top, there's a really pretty view of the lake and the trees." And I'm like, And I'm. It's got one of those pullover harnesses, and I'm hugging the shit out of my harness, and which I know isn't gonna do anything, but it made my mind feel better. It made my brain feel better. So I'm just holding on. I'm like, why the fuck am I on this thing? And we bought the quick passes too. I wanted to get that fucking guy fired. So obviously I didn't get a quick pass because I don't really go on rides. And not roller coasters. I like the water rides. The water rides are fucking cool. And there's one roller coaster I can do. I gotta close my eyes because it goes through this tunnel where you just spin in circles, and it makes me dizzy. So I just close my eyes when I'm in the tunnel, and then everything's fine when I get out of it. But I don't like roller coasters, and we have pictures of all the ones I've been on. But the people who pose, they're doing like all these silly, goofy poses. You know, my niece did a Buddy Jesus pose, and I'm just like, how do you do that? I swear, I was fearing for my life. I swear I was going to splatter all over the ground. I knew that was what was going to happen. So I don't know. I don't know how people can do all those poses and shit. But anyway, I was gone. Had a great time. Got my fucking Slurpees from 7-Eleven. Oh, those Slurpees and taquitos are fucking good. I really wish we had 7-Elevens here. I forget how much I miss 7-Eleven because I used to, when I lived in D.C., you know, there's 7-Elevens like all over the place. If I found change anywhere, that change was never, ever, ever tossed to the side. Wow, this is a hell of an opening part of the round. Part of the round is the opening. The opening part of the round. What was I saying? Yeah, I was talking about 7-Eleven, and I used to live in D.C. They were all over the place. If I found change, it was Slurpee money. That was just where it went. There was no change that was thrown away. Any change I found could buy a Slurpee if I wanted to get a Slurpee. Because I didn't like, well, hell, I don't even remember if they had credit cards back then. That fucked me up with fast food places. I used to not carry cash because I didn't want to spend. I knew if I had cash, I would go to McDonald's or some shit like that. This really isn't that long ago, by the way, when I think about it. This is like 95, 96, 90, in the mid-90s. They didn't have credit card machines. Holy shit. Wow, it seems like it's just always been there. Well, I used to not carry cash so I wouldn't spend money. Then all of a sudden they start accepting Visa and MasterCard, and I'm just like, fuck you guys. And of course then I would start going there, again. So I that kind of fucked me over. But yeah, it was a good time. So anyway, this is the first time I'm watching the prelims. This fight isn't bad from what I've seen. My eyes are going back and forth between this and two guys on Bellator. I have no clue who they are. I wasn't paying attention. I heard someone say Silva, so I guess I don't know if it's Anderson Silva or Thiago Silva. Anderson Silva. I said Anderson Silva. But yeah, so this doesn't seem terrible. It's not great. Alex Chambers beat Caitlin Curran. I do want to see that. Brad Scott beat Dylan Andrews. I feel bad for Dylan Andrews. And you know what? Fuck, I'm a dick. I should have started with this. Corey Hill died. And I guess this is official this time. That came out yesterday. And then he came back to life. And I don't know. I guess he died earlier today from a heart attack, I believe it was. He'd been in the hospital for a couple of weeks. He had fungal pneumonia and lost a lung. And then his other lung collapsed. I think that was 2 weeks ago, and he's been, I believe, in a coma for those 2 weeks. Don't quote me on that. I think that's right though. And it came out yesterday that they took him off life support, and yesterday morning, I guess they didn't. His wife came out later yesterday and said no, he's still alive. Send prayers. The guy. It's just. I feel like he's just had the worst luck in the world. These motherfuckers are going at it too. I don't know. This seems like a fun fight. Not the best technique in the world, but I guess fuck technique if you're just gonna swing and punch each other in the face. So yeah, it just it sucks. He was I expected big things from him when he was on the show. I know he didn't make it very far, but you still got to see some of his training and things like that. And maybe I'm remembering wrong, but I remember him thinking he was going to be something, and he was really cool. Like, there's so many dicks on Tough, except for a couple seasons, and he was just seemed like a really cool guy. So, and then he lost 2 fights. The last of which is when he broke his shin in half. And I think he had a couple ups and downs, and then he lost his last 6. Apparently, his last fight, which was just in February, he quit after round 1. I don't know what went wrong. I don't know if he just got stuck in bad coaching or what, but he just had some shit luck. So it sucked hearing it yesterday, and it sucks again hearing it today. And I hope his family knows, because one thing I noticed is there was a lot of people. Wow, that was Saved by the Bell, or the buzzer. There were a lot of people talking about him, and there was like not one bad thing said about the guy. And I only saw one mention of the leg break, and I called him out on it, and he favored it, which I don't really know what that means. It probably doesn't mean anything. I don't really fully understand Twitter. I'm trying. I try to get stuff. Social stuff just doesn't work for me. But yeah, Vic. This seems fun, and really, from what I've seen, Vic Grujic is winning the fight. Apparently not. I guess I didn't pay too much attention for round 1. I'd give him round 2 though. So let's see here. Where was I? Brad Scott beat Dylan Andrews. He's another guy I feel bad for. He was a really nice guy on Tough. I think it was a Tough with Chiesa. I think. He's the Australian guy. He got like hurt in one fight. I forgot what it was. Like at this, let me see. What was that? What happened to him? He was out for a while, I think. Maybe it was his knee. He like stepped on his knee wrong or something. Go down. Let's see here. Clint Hester dislocated his shoulder in the second round. Yeah, that sucks, man. He was out. Yeah, he was out for a year. Then he lost to Sam Alvey, and he kind of fucked him up, I think, if I remember correctly. And he lost again on the fight card that's on now. So I kind of feel bad for him. He's a nice guy, but he's probably done, I would think. He's 2-3. If usually I think they start with a 3-fight contract, and you got to win 2. And he got through the first 2 and lost 1, so he's on another contract. So that's 2 fights in a row that he's lost. I don't know if they're going to give him another shot or not. So, yeah, I hope so. He seemed nice. Beck Rawlings choked out Lisa Ellis. Sam Alvey knocked out or TKO'd Dan Kelly. Kyle Noak decision Jonathan Webb. And Dan Hooker KO'd Hatsuhioki. Main card, James Vick submitted Jake Matthews. I actually would have given Matthews the round, but it didn't make it out of that round. Got caught. Hopefully we'll see him again. I don't know, where he is on ups and downs or anything else. Sean O'Connell TKO'd Anthony Perosh. I'm always sad when Perosh loses. I like Perosh, I think, because he's old. But I think I would imagine he's in his, home country. He's like 43 or something. How old is he? He's 42 years old, okay? He's done a pretty fair amount. He was a late bloomer. He didn't start till he was 30. but he's not. I'm looking at him. He's up and down. He's in his last 4. He's 2-2. In his last 5, he's 3-2. He lost to Jimmo. He beat Vinny Magalhães. I remember that shit. That was a fast one, but then he got caught, I think. Or maybe he got caught before that. But yeah, that got Vinny Magalhães cut, which really was a bad cut. Vinny was just always a fun fight to watch. Lost to Ryan Bader, beat Guto Innocente, lost to Sean O'Connell. So he's getting stuck in that mid-tier. I don't know. I hope they don't cut him. I like him. He's fun. He's a slow starter, but he's fun. I like him. So we'll see what happens. Let's see here. Robert Whitaker beat Brad Tavares, KO'd him. It was a solid knockout. What the hell are you gonna say? And Stipe Miocic beat the shit out of Mark Hunt. Look, that should have been stopped probably in round 2, I think, was when the first big flurry came in. That was ridiculous that it went on as long as it did. That was crazy. And I think the doctor came out like right before round 4 and was, maybe this is how they do in Australia, was like asking Mark Hunt if he could see. That's usually not how a doctor is supposed to check like somebody, because here in the States we'll have them prove that they can see by holding up fingers or something, and maybe looking at like the pupil. No, he's just like, "Can you see?" And Mark Hunt, who's like got one eye closed and one eye almost closed, yeah. And the guy said, "All right," he said he could see, and he lets him fight on. That's really about how it went down. So it's that was ridiculous. I don't like seeing things like that. And the ref should have stopped it like sooner. I get it. It's Mark Hunt, and Mark Hunt can take a beating. Look, Mark Hunt doesn't need to take a beating. It was still an exciting fight. Or it was until it just became a beating. What was that, like 2 minutes? 2.5 minutes? It wasn't pretty. Stipe Miocic, that was the thing about that one is, I don't know, maybe Mark Hunt was hurt. Doesn't seem like the kind of guy who's going to come out and be like, "Oh yeah, I was hurt on this fight, by the way. Don't hold it against me." He can't get a title shot yet. And you can't have your biggest win be Mark Hunt. And I'm looking at him right now. And I'm not saying he doesn't have some good wins, but Roy Nelson, I don't think I would put above Mark Hunt. I wouldn't do it. I like Roy Nelson, but I think you rank Mark Hunt higher. Roy Nelson had a title shot? And has that happened? Let me make sure I'm remembering. Mark Hunt had one, right? Didn't he just lose one? To, what's his name? To, Verdum. Okay. And has Roy Nelson... And Roy Nelson... Yeah, well, you know what? Look at that. He beat Roy Nelson. I forgot about that. He knocked Roy Nelson out. So that right there is, that's a bigger win. Fabio Maldonado, no. Junior Dos Santos, he lost to. So you can't have Mark Hunt be the biggest win. Now, if they'll probably do something else with him, but maybe, Junior Dos Santos is going to be the gatekeeper of the heavyweight division. If we can find a champion who can defend the belt more than once every 800 years, Junior Dos Santos will wind up being the gatekeeper. I actually don't think he would win the title if Kane was out. Junior Dos Santos is a good boxer, and I don't know. Maybe I just don't like him because I get bored with boxing, but it just doesn't do it for me. So yeah, I mean, I don't know what you do with Stipe, and I really haven't had time to really think about it. Thus, the reason why I'm just getting around to watching the prelims. But people are already making the whisper, Stipe and Kane. No, you can't do that yet. It's too soon for that. So don't. Now, Metamoris was last Saturday. I saw most of that. I've not seen all of it. I did see. Let's see here. Francisco Iturralde beat Greg McIntyre by armbar, so I'll go back and watch that. Michael Liera Jr. Drew with Morgan Needlinger. I probably won't watch that because I heard it wasn't like awesome. Evandro Nunez drew with Jimmy Friedrich. Clark Gracie drew with Roberto Satoshi. You know, that one I might go back and watch because I heard that had some good exchanges and it's a gi match. So I may go back and watch that. Jean-Jay Riviera did not beat Keenan Cornelius. Drew with Keenan Cornelius. Really, Keenan Cornelius did whatever the fuck he wanted. I've watched that. Why is my phone? Oh, my battery's low. Oh, I've watched that fight kind of 1.5 times. The first time I watched it, I was distracted. I was in the hotel. But the second time I watched it, and there will be more, I enjoy watching Keenan Cornelius. His little worm guard thing, which I couldn't pull off because I don't have the grip strength, but holy shit, do I know someone who could. I think that kind of shit is really neat. Dylan Dennis, Darce chokes Joe Lauzon, or Lauzon as it was being referred to. I was trying to start a fight, but it didn't work on Twitter. Yeah, you know, Joe really never got going. Dylan Dennis just kind of had control of him most of the match. But I tell you what, it was a fun 6 minutes and 41 seconds. Or I'm sorry, 5 minutes and 41 seconds. That was a very active match. Chael Sonnen drew with Babalu Sabra. Now look, the problem is this. It's not that I think Chael was not going for a submission. When you're a wrestler, you do things differently. Okay? You control your body differently, and you set those openings up differently. Just like Babalu, wanted his space and things like that, which he couldn't get because Chael Sonnen, as they noted, was much bigger because he's a big motherfucker and much heavier than Babalu, and I think he was. They missed the mark on that one, by the way, not giving us their weights. Apparently, Babalu said somewhere, I don't remember where, that he was like 205 or 215, something like that. And Chael was like 250. He looked big. But Chael Sonnen stayed on top of him. He went for a couple submissions, but wrestlers don't do fast submissions. Wrestlers don't. They rely on muscle. It's opposite of jiu-jitsu when you start working wrestling submissions. Yeah, so sorry, I got distracted. I was watching the Bellator fight. Chael Sonnen, look, Babalu couldn't get him away from him. If Babalu wants a space, Babalu has to get his space. Royce Gracie got all the space he needed when he was dealing with fucking Dan Severn and big fucking motherfuckers, chemo, strong motherfuckers. He got all the space he needed. So he just didn't create it. But it's that's what happens. Then Josh Barnett, and what was referred to by what's that guy's name? What's the guy who did the Glover, Jeff Glover? This is the guy who's calling him Joe Lauzon. Jeff Glover said, I believe this is a quote, the match we've been waiting for so long, or the match he's been excited. What? I texted Monocles. What the hell did he say? Oh shit! Someone's tagging me and shit on Facebook. He said, shit. Where is it? Oh. Jeff said that he'd been waiting for the Barnett versus Gracie fight for a long time. It was just announced like 2 or 3 days earlier. It's when in the world did anyone ever propose Barnett versus Hiron or Hiron, however the fuck he says his name today, Gracie? And he can have that tagline if he wants it. I don't know. I don't know. I never thought about it. But Josh Barnett did what I think most people expected him to do. There are a lot of people that were surprised because he's a Gracie and he tapped, and look. And Monocles was talking about it looked maybe premature tapulation. Did I just create something? I should write that down. Premature tapulation. You ever write things down and then you write it so sloppily, but you'll never understand what it says later? That's what I just did. So, look, Hiron's not a very big guy. Josh Barnett is a very big guy. I don't think it would have taken very long for Hiron's ankle to break. Now, I think he did the right thing. I was also called a pussy, which I didn't think was kind. It hurt my feelings, and when you get a compliment and you're all warm and fuzzy inside, it made me cold and dark, and took me to my dark place like George St. Pierre. So yeah, I don't know what the fuck people were expecting, and Chael started hyping up the Josh Barnett fight. He said in 4 months, Metamoris 8. I don't know if that means they're going to start doing them every 2 months. They have so hold on. Let me finish this thought. I don't know, but Chael called out the heavyweight champion. I think he tweeted it too. Tim Kennedy, I saw on Twitter, say that Metamoris is opening up a middleweight championship apparently this year, and he's apparently in the running for it. I don't know if he was saying he is grappling somebody, or if he's saying he wants to, or what. Yeah, so I think Chael called up Barnett, though, which that would have some fun build-up, because Josh Barnett knows wrestling. They could have a good fucking time with that one. Josh Barnett's also got a fight coming up with Roy Nelson, and Roy Nelson said he wanted drug testing, and he put like a no sign, one of those red circles with the line through it over him with drugs, and then he put a needle on Josh Barnett's, and Josh Barnett made some comment about Roy Nelson is going to need to be checked for gravy or something. So anyway, yeah, Josh Barnett, won, shocker. I don't know, and I wonder what happened to it. I don't see it on there. I didn't see it when I was flipping through everything. What is it? Oh, and by the way, I just looked at my notes for that because I was looking for one thing in particular. Yeah, I think I covered everything. Yeah. Okay, here's the last one. There's my question. What happened to the Jeff Munson match? Or the Monsoon match, as I like to call him. Yeah, he was supposed to fight some guy who won the road to Metamoris. And I kind of was looking forward just to see what the hell Jeff Munson is doing. But it was never there. Yeah, this was the silent one, by the way, which, I don't know. It really, crowd or no crowd doesn't really matter to me. I don't care. It's jiu-jitsu, so I kind of don't care. I understand it's kind of neat to have both of them, but I didn't notice anything one way or the other. So there was no no press allowed. There was no public. It was, and this was announced kind of last minute. I think it was just like a few days before, and they announced it. Is this the Caitlin Curran fight? Yeah, it is. I don't know, man. I liked Caitlin Curran's ass when she weighed in with Paige Van Zandt. It was really cool, and I became a fan. But anyway, yeah, she's really cute too. That her face is cute too. It's not just her ass. Does that make it better? Yeah. So it was. I don't get it. Chill made the comment. I heard it somewhere. I don't even remember where I heard it. If it was his podcast or what. But he did. Maybe it was in an interview. He did say they're winding up with a whole bunch of press. And they're not doing anything. They're not doing any promotions or anything else for their gate. They've just done this, and people are talking about it. So he had a point. I just, I don't know how much money they lost, but they have this new plan where you can pay $30 for the event, and some of the events have been good. I think most of them have been good. I've seen all of them. I think the only one I was really displeased with was 2. 2 was really bad. 3, I think it was, or maybe it was 4. It was either 3 or 4 that was. It was the one. I think it was 4. It was the one with Chael. I forgot who he went fought, but Barnett tapping out Dean Lister was worth paying for Metamoris too. That was just incredible. And I've watched that a couple times. Just that was still, and it was almost over. That was still just like, holy crap! I can't believe that just happened. So yeah, there's fights. There's fights on tomorrow. Okay, and we'll come back to that. And I'm gonna say that because I haven't seen the weigh-ins. I was thinking about putting the weigh-ins on. We'll see. I should check and see how much is left on this fight. Ronda Rousey was on Stern this week. I did not get a chance to listen to most of it. I got maybe 10-15 minutes in. It's all over YouTube. It's apparently a pretty good interview. Look, Stern's a good interviewer. I wish I could be as good as Stern, and I've been listening to him more when I'm at my desk, and just interview different people, just trying to because I haven't, I don't fucking know what I'm doing, but he's so relaxed, and just I need to get better at that. I like Stern. I'm surprised that he doesn't have a late night show yet. Because I think he would be good at it. I think he would have a very successful show. And I love that America's Got Talent is coming back. But we'll talk more about that next month. Let's see here. Oh, let's see here. Let me open that up. They're making changes to the Hall of Fame. Okay. Let me scroll down. Why is it not linked? Why are you not linked? Hold on, I have to copy this whole thing because it doesn't have the stupid little blue bar for some reason. Control C, open tab. I'm going to rewatch the Caitlin Curran fight later. Let's see here. So they're doing 4 wings. Let's see here. We've got the Modern Era wing, which will be for all fighters who made their pro debut after November 17th, 2000 and UFC 28, when the unified rules were first implemented, are eligible for selection into this class. So the newer guys, even though it's been 15 years, but the newer guys would fall into that one. Like anyone fighting now. Pioneer Era Wing. This category will honor fighters who debuted prior to UFC 28 or November 17th, 2000. Okay? So, Ken Shamrock, Royce Gracie, probably everybody from UFC 1. Yeah. So, next one is Contributors Wing. This is off of Yahoo Sports. I think I'm supposed to say that. I don't really think about it. This category will honor anyone or any group that has made a significant contribution to the sport beyond fighting. It will consider, for example, referees, judges, trainers, commissioners. There's no commissioner who should be in there. Announcers and promoters. So people such as Greg Jackson, the elite trainer at Jackson's MMA, announcer Joe Rogan, and or referee Big John McCarthy would be eligible for selection in this category. All of whom will probably wind up there. I'm not a monstrous Greg Jackson fan, but he knows what the fuck he's doing. I've seen some of his clips and things like that. He can see some shit. And then we got the fight wing. The UFC wants to honor the greatest fights in the sports era, and we have them recorded for posterity. So fights like the Mauricio Shogun Hua Dan Henderson 1 bout, they explicitly put the 1. 2 was good at UFC 180, or I'm sorry, 139 in 2011 would be eligible here. I kind of like it. I think it's good. Let's see here. He says, looking forward to announcing the class of 2015 and what's going to be a great induction event on July 11th. The 12 people already in the Hall of Fame will be divided into one of these categories. Forrest Griffin is the only modern era inductee, having been inducted in 2013. Pioneers, they got Royce Gracie, Ken Shamrock, Dan Severn, Randy Couture, Mark Coleman, Chuck Liddell, Matt Hughes, Tito Ortiz, who I didn't think was even allowed to be mentioned, and he's like Voldemort, and Pat Miletich. He was just inducted last year. The only fight in so far is Griffin Stephan Bonner 1 from 2005. And promoter businessman, they have Charles Mask Lewis in the contributors wing. Fighters in the modern category must be 35 or older and have been retired for 1 calendar year. Active fighters are eligible if over 35 but not preferred. You know, will Chael Sonnen make it into the Hall of Fame? And should he be in the Hall of Fame? Should you be in the Hall of Fame if you weren't a champion? You know, will Joe Lozon make it to the Hall of Fame? Guy's got the most the most performance of the night bonuses, or of the night bonuses, because they weren't performances back then. He's got the most of the night bonuses. Will that get him into the Hall of Fame? He's always exciting. Everyone fucking loves him. Is that enough? Well, Chael Sonnen, he's had he's had like 3 title fights. Just in the UFC. But the thing that he did, and he lost them all, but the thing that he did was he helped bring UFC to a higher level. And we're also talking about someone who could legitimately, and I think is still in the mix, could legitimately run UFC when Dana White retires. Chael Sonnen could do that no problem. I wish Chael Sonnen would talk. I wish he was a manager and would talk for Heenan Barral and Jose Aldo and people like that. Man, that would really, really, really be something. Dan Henderson is at Bellator. I don't know if it means anything or not. Yeah, so they've made changes. I like them. I didn't know too much about it. I guess they just had like a Hall of Fame, and these are the things that are in the Hall of Fame. So I guess they're making it a little more official, which is cool. So Reebok and Fighter Pay came out. There's a lot of shit to cover. I really don't want to be on here forever, though, so I should move faster. Reebok and the pay. Okay. Now, I got a few articles and things to look at. Let's open this up first. So this is from Twitter. Oh, yeah. So speaking of this Reebok thing, and July 11th, the Hall of Fame inductee. That's also when they do their UFC Fan Expo. No one who there's all kinds of businesses who have been doing the Fan Expo for years, since even a couple since they started. Like Fight Chicks, I think, has been on there forever, and they're not allowed at the UFC Fan Expo. It's just, I don't know what they're doing. Maybe they don't understand what an expo is. An expo is just, a whole bunch of stuff. Most of them are the exact same thing as the other one. It's not like you don't go to a home show and expect to just see, one gardener. You expect to see 5 gardeners, so you can kind of take your pick from a whole bunch of people. So yeah, it says the response that she got was, "Hi Elizabeth, Reebok is the exclusive apparel provider this year, and Muscle Farm is exclusive for supplements. I apologize and hope to do business with you in the future. UFC Fan Expo." Now, look, here's a problem with this Reebok thing. Okay. There's the money that the fighters are losing. Although Dana White said he acknowledged that only 3 fighters have complained. I'd be willing to bet I think we're going to read more than just 3. But he says just 3. I think it was Shab, Mitrione, and someone else. He said only 3 fighters have complained and they're working on it. Now Mitrione, I did see tweet that they're gonna talk about it, because the pay scale is not really that great. We'll get into that. Let me close this one. Let me open up the next one. Oh, so here's the thing. They're taking money away from the fighters. Some of these fighters got a pretty fair amount of money for having their logos and stuff on their pants and their shorts, and maybe on their t-shirts, their walkout shirts and things like that. They may have gotten a lot of money. Are we gonna fucking see? Is Cowboy gonna be able to have his Budweiser hat, or are we gonna have to have a Reebok hat or a Reebok Budweiser hat? Things like that. I'm really curious actually to see what happens there. Is Reebok going to get thrown into the mix with Budweiser? If it's Donald Cerrone doing it and he's got something worked out, if he's getting sponsored directly by Reebok, I think that's awesome. But if it's something that he's being forced to do because Reebok wants it done, that would be interesting. It'd be interesting to see what he says too. So they're taking money out of the fighters' pockets. The way the breakdown, where is the breakdown? Here it is. The way the pay breakdown works, and they're not doing anything wrong. I get what they're doing. I don't like it, but there's nothing wrong with it. They're paying for the TV time and everything else. Every other sport does it. Football, I think it has Nike all over their uniforms, or somebody. I don't know who it is, but someone is doing it. Someone sponsors the equipment for the NFL. Those are the people that you see. And if you get a sponsorship from Reebok outside, then you can do whatever you want, I would think. But the NFL can't control you, but they don't necessarily have to. And I get it. They're paying for this time, so if they can make money that can help pay, and people are talking about how greedy they are and things like that. Look, I'd be willing to bet Dana White has already called Corey White's family to ask if there's anything he can do. And said, please don't tell anybody about this. I just don't think Dana White is the dick that everybody thinks he is. But basically, Oh, let me go to this tab. People are losing money. And where is it? Okay, fighters who have between 1 and 5 fights in the UFC will make $2,500 from Reebok. Okay, so Gina Carano comes back. Okay, and they are including Strikeforce, and they're including WEC. They're not including Pride, but those fights do count towards your number. Okay, so Gina Carano has what, like 4 or 5, maybe 5 fights in Strikeforce. I'd have to look, but there's no way she's coming back because she would have made a shit ton of money in sponsorships if she came back for that Ronda Rousey fight. The only way that Ronda Rousey fight is going to happen is if Reebok makes an exception, or UFC makes an exception, because she would lose too much money if they didn't do it that way. Either that or UFC would have to buy her out. So $2,500 for 1 to 5 fights. If you have 6 to 10 fights, again UFC, WEC, Strikeforce, you get $5,000. 11 to 15 fights, you get $10,000. 16 to 20 fights, you get $15,000. 20 fights and up gets $20,000. So Joe Lozon, I think, is like 1 fight away from 20, I think. Let's see, does it say anyone who's making it? Joe Lozon said he's very happy, though. The thing of it is it's loyalty. Okay? If you want the big bucks for sponsorship from Reebok, you need to be loyal to the UFC and fight more. So we're probably going to see some of these younger guys want to fight more, hopefully the ones that we enjoy watching, and hopefully not with a lot of damage. I don't think anyone should fight more than 4 times a year. I love Cowboy Cerrone. His fights are always awesome. I think it's amazing what he does. But I just don't think you should fight more than 4 times a year. I just give your brain a little rest. Give your head some slack. If you're in a title fight, the challenger will make $30,000 and the champion will make $40,000. And the contract is worth $70 million over 6 years. Not exactly an exuberant amount of money, but you got to start somewhere. Hell, for all we know, this could lead to Nike buying out the Reebok contract and doing something. Who knows what's going to happen? But yeah, so it's not a huge amount of money, but it's okay. But it does suck for some of the guys. Look, Josh Barnett. How many fights does he have? He can't have too many fights, and I don't feel like looking at. Well, no, because he fought in the UFC back in the day. Who's Fedor? There's another one. You won't see Fedor fighting in the UFC. Fedor's not going to have you cut out his sponsorship ability and only bring in $2,500. Quite frankly, I'm glad. I don't want to see Fedor fight. It's done. I'm over the Fedor thing. The Fedor Couture thing, that would have been kind of neat if it had happened. But I have no desire to see Fedor fight. So let me see here. Let me go back to the email. Scott Coker. Scott Coker had even understands what they're doing. He gets it. Now he's not limiting his guys. Bellator is allowed to have sponsors, and they just signed he's an Olympic hopeful. He's a 3-time national champion. I got his name somewhere. But he just signed him, and sponsorship was a part of it. He can make more money from his own sponsors than off of Reebok. Now, Miles Jury apparently tweeted a photo of Reebok shoes in a garbage can. It was clear he wasn't pleased with the UFC's new apparel sponsor. However, he didn't explain why. This is from MMAfighting.com. Take advantage of people and no morals, values. You're trash. Much love to the genuine people out there like DZ Manufacturing. Now, Dana is apparently working with Mr. Jury. Dana's working with Matt Mitrione. Mitrione said that he called him. Tim Kennedy. Ed Ruth is the name of the wrestler. Tim Kennedy, what was his comment? And Tim Kennedy was wrong too. He was putting himself in the wrong division. Let's see here. He tweeted, "Dear at UFC, am I to understand that for my exclusive apparel sponsorship, I'll make $2,500? I'll pass. Thanks for the generous offer. Pound Reebok." And then he said, at Scott Coker, "Hey Scott, miss your face." I didn't even see that one. That's funny. Now he's putting himself. He's not counting his Strikeforce fights. And I think he's got a couple WEC fights in there too. So he's cutting himself short a little bit. Now, some of the tweets that I saw that were talking about it from the fighters. Well, I saw some of them. The rest I just read in this MMA Fighting. Let's see here. Load. Pros react to pay scale for Reebok. Nick Newell, good to see the UFC fighters are going to start making the big money with I don't know what you would call that face, but like 2 eyeballs and a slash. Brendan Schaub did something. He said, "I've made 6 figures in sponsorships in each of my last 6 fights." I know. There's a point. Ooh, that looked like a not fun kick to the knee there. Yeah, you better switch your stance. I just glanced up at Bellator. Yeah, if you're used to making $100,000 from your sponsors, that's a bit crazy. Roger Navarez. Wow, $2,500 for my next fight for Reebok sponsorship. I made twice that off one sponsor my last fight. Sucks. Wow, so he made more than that off of one sponsor. So he's taking a hit. Just hurts because I have great sponsors that have always financially helped. It's going to be hard on fighters. I understand what UFC is trying to do. Those numbers just hurt fighters like me who spend $2,000 to $3,000 on fight camp just getting prep. Okay, fair enough. That's all Roger Narvaez. Chris Khaled, 70 million looking kind of weak. Yeah, a little bit. Aljamain Sterling, I understand the reasoning given for the Reebok deal, but the deal has to make sense for at least 80% of the fighters in regards to tiers. For me, I barely got any sponsorship money, but I'm okay with not whoring myself out to 6 to 7 companies to look NASCAR. New system equals half my earnings. That's a problem. And there's another one. I didn't hear Dana mention him in his tweet. Scott Jorgensen, check my email to good news. 21 in the books with Zuffa. So there you go. It's working good for Scott Jorgensen. Sarah and definitely need to get more fights booked. According to what counts, I'm only at 6 since 2011. Definitely not enough. So she's, that's $5,000 for her. Let's see here, who else is on here? Robert Whiteford, Reebok sponsorship deal is more money than I got paid fighting on European shows. Would like more money. Hell yeah, but who wouldn't? Stay humble. So he's making more. There we go, Matt Mitrione. Congrats, Reebok. You got the deal of the century. Unfortunately, it was at the cost of the fighters. Hope the bad press is worth it. At UFC. Khabib said, now our sport on a... Oh, I see what he did. He spelled our wrong. Okay, now our sport on a different level with the Reebok deal. So he's happy, or he's a team player. I'm not sure. Nate Quarry said his answer to Reebok and UFC, and he posted a picture of that the what's it called? The Mixed Martial Arts Fighters Association that he's trying to start because he wants to unionize it. Efren Escazera likes it. He had his battles in the octagon as paying off outside the cage. Mark Bocek, UFC gets rich from fighters' blood. UFC determines how much fighters can make through only one sponsor. No choices, and everyone thinks it's Christmas. Ramsey Najim, I made more money my second fight in the UFC on Facebook prelims. Not complaining, just stating facts. See, and everyone's afraid to complain, too. They don't want to get fired by the UFC because there's nowhere else to go that's, got some money. But yeah, I mean, it's a problem if guys are losing half of their earnings. Dana's got to figure something out. They're releasing these numbers a month before it goes into effect, because it starts. I think 2 months. I think the first fight that this kicks in is 189. That's when we won't see any cage banners. I don't think you're allowed to wear hats. Everything will be Reebok at that point. I don't know if the banner thing is because of Reebok or not, but I know that they did away with it. Everything starts at the same time. Let's see here. Is there anything else besides fights in the morning? Yeah, I was gonna go over a couple things. By the way, I figured out I need to get elevated. I figured out. Okay. I wonder if I missed the Sam Alvey fight because I wasn't looking at the screen. I figured out that the galaxy, okay, is an atom. It's an atom. The sun is the nucleus. The planets are not the nucleus, the neutron, the nucleus. Maybe I don't need to get elevated. The sun is the neutron. The planets are the protons. And I can't figure out if the stars or if the moons of each planet, or maybe both. And someone threw out comets, but I don't know that I would count them. There's not enough. There needs to be more if it's going to be that. Stars makes the most sense. But those are the electrons. And we're inside a living being. We just don't know it because we're just part of the system. It's all a big system. That's why the universe is so big. Anyway, just throwing that out there because it's something that I realize. I'm sure it's true. I'm absolutely positive it's true. Some lady out here. I wonder if there's an interview with her. I need to look that up. Some lady who looked like, if you remember, the Running Man, the fire guy. I can't think of his name. Oh shit! I never started the show, did I? I can't think of his name.
Welcome to the Inappropriate MMA Show!
Alright, now we gotta start everything all over again. What was I saying? Oh, yeah, she looked like he was the black guy, he had the flamethrower. I can't think of his name, but he had like the gray on the sides. She looked like the female version of him. And apparently she was walking around police officers telling them that she was an undercover police officer and like just talking shit to them. And then she hit one of them, and I guess it just went downhill from there. But why would you impersonate a police officer in front of a police officer? That's just asking for trouble. It doesn't even make sense. So yeah, well, I guess I did talk about that. That was I just don't get it. I'm gonna leave everything else alone. So let's go to. Oh, you know what? One more thing before we go to tomorrow morning's fights. Mayweather-Pacquiao. Fight of the century, huh? Okay. first of all, I'll tell you that apparently the final pay-per-view numbers came out, and it was there were estimates that it would hit 5 million. It did not. It made 4.4 million. Okay, that's or not made. That's how many it sold. That means it made at $100 a pop, which is what the going rate for the pay-per-view was. Okay. $440 million. Is that right? 4.4 million times 100. Yeah, that's right. Okay. Had to think about that one. 400 or no, not 440. 400 million, 400,000. No, 440 million. I should have stopped earlier. 440 million. I think that's right. That's a shit ton of money. And I wonder how many points Manny got. I mean, hell, if GSP was getting $3 or $4 a pop, fucking A, did Manny Pacquiao get $10 a pop? I mean, if he got $10 per sale, what is it? That's an extra $40 million. That means he probably made close to $200 million after his pay, which I haven't even heard what his pay is yet. I don't know if it's been released or not. It was estimated that his salary was going to be 1 to 150, I think. But and that's 1 to 150, 100 million. Okay, it was definitely 100 million, but it could have gotten close to 150 million. If he hit 150 million, that's almost $200 million. And then he made at least 10 million on his sponsors. There's no way he didn't. So it's ridiculous how much money I'm pretty sure he made. It was not the best fight in the world. It was fine. I am going to watch it again. I gave it to Mayweather, but I saw some people on Twitter who know boxing better than I do. I'm not a big boxing guy, who thought that Pacquiao won, and I'd like to watch it again. I haven't yet. That might say something, but at some point I fully plan on watching it again. People want to sue Manny Pacquiao because he had an injury and he didn't disclose the injury until afterwards, and I've never heard of anything like that before, but that's really interesting. That's really interesting. That's kind of a game changer. Gamblers who lost money are suing Manny Pacquiao because it's a legitimate thing. When you fight, when you're filling out your paperwork to get your license, one of the questions is, do you have any injuries? And that's just a standard question. And you have to, it's a legal document. You have to answer it, honestly. Apparently he said no. But he told other people that he was going through shoulder issues. He had some kind of rotator cuff problem. He had surgery on it after the fight. But because he said no on that form, and all these professional gamblers probably legitimately, obviously an injury is going to change the line. That's going to change the betting line by a lot. They're pissed. So I'm very curious to see how that one plays out. But yeah, the fight was I wish Manny were a little bit more active. If he was hurt, so be it. I wish Floyd would have stopped hugging him and clinching. I wish Floyd would have stopped with the overhand, the over the head guillotine drop down, whatever the fuck you want to call it, headlock. That he was trying to do. Klitschko does that, and that's one of the reasons I don't like Klitschko, because Klitschko's like taller than most of the other fighters, so he's able to pull that maneuver all the time. I just don't like it. So he said he's open to fighting Manny Pacquiao again. I bet he's open to fighting Manny Pacquiao again. He's probably trying to become a billionaire. And he probably will be there. If he's not already, and I don't think he is, he will be. He'll be there. That just screams like something I could see him deciding is important. Which fight is this? Do I want to skip through to? I want to see the Sam Alvey fight. Hold on a second. I might have missed the Sam Alvey fight. This might be the Kyle Noak. Is that Kyle Noak? I wasn't even looking. Yeah, that's Kyle Noak. And okay, all right. I have to go back and watch the Sam Alvey fight. Go here. All right. Tomorrow night there are fights. Or I'm sorry, not tomorrow night. Tomorrow morning. I believe. Let's see here what we got. We've got main card at 10. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 6 fights. So that's 10 Eastern time. So that'll probably go 10 to 1-ish. There's 4 on the prelims, which means... Alright, so at 7 o'clock the pre-show. This will be on Fox Sports 1. Then at 8 we've got the prelims. And at 10, this is the Eastern times. At 10 you got the main card. Fight Pass, I don't know who these fuckers are. Nolan Tickman versus Yao Zikui. I don't know. Nolan Tickman, because I can say his name. Roldan Shangshian versus John Delos Reyes. I'll go John Delos Reyes, because I can say his name. Hold on, let me go back over to Sam Alvey's fight, because it's about to start. Isn't it? Or did I fuck up? Fuck, I think I fucked up. Hold on, where's this fucking Sam Alvey fight? Motherfucker, how did I wind up at the first fight? Who is this? Kaylin Curran. Fucking Fight Pass. You know, seriously, they need to fucking make their Fight Pass better. This is ridiculous how shitty this is. And it's absolutely complete and utter shit. There's no reason for it to be like this. Why is it so difficult to navigate through shit? I can't even fucking find the Sam Alvey fight. Here we go. Here's the Sam Alvey fight. Apparently it skipped me past it. Anyway, I don't know who the fuck those people are. Then we've got on Fox Sports 1 at a catch weight, someone missed weight. Ning Guangyu versus Royston Wee. I don't know. I don't know. I'll go Ning Guangyu because it sounds like he's going to have home field advantage. Li Jingliang versus my dog just looked at me on that one. Versus Diego Lima. Yeah, I mean, I know Diego Lima. I think he just lost. I'll go Diego Lima because I don't know who Li Jingliang. See, these are probably people from like Ultimate Fighter China. All right, let's watch the Sam Alvey fight. Mouth guards in. There's that tan sponsor thing that he got in trouble for. I wonder if that cost him a Performance of the Night bonus. Because you can't do shit like that. All right, let's see here. I know this is short. That's why I'm watching it. Sam looks like he's smiling just while he's in there right now. I need a do-over with him. I really do. I need a do-over with him. Because I kind of fucked that one up. Little flurry. I kind of expected more by now. Oh, yeah. Knocked him like halfway across the cage. Good. Well done, Sam. Good for him. That's cool. All right. Good for him. All right. Now, where were we? Zhang Li Peng versus Cajun Johnson. I'll go Cajun Johnson. I think I know who Zhang Li Peng is. I'm pretty sure that is someone who won one of the Ultimate Fighter China things. Tae Hyun Bang versus John Tuck. I'll go John Tuck. Wasn't he in like Tuck Everlasting? Wasn't that the character? Is he named after Tuck Everlasting? Oh, that poor guy. Is that his name? Hold on, I gotta look that up. I also need to light something. John Tuck. I might be wrong. I don't see anything. Maybe it's not Tuck Everlasting. I don't even remember what Tuck Everlasting is. I remember it was a book we had to read. Wrong fight card. Go back here. Alright. Main card. Mark Adiva versus Levin Makashvili. Makish is his Tupac's brother. I'll go Mark Adiva. I don't know who these guys are. Felipe Nover versus Yul Chul Nam. I really forget Felipe Nover is still around. I swear I do. I'll go Yul Chul Nam because I just never think Felipe Nover is going to win. Hyun Gyu Lim versus Neil Magny. Now this will be a fun fight. I think this will be a good fight. This could be fight of the night. I really want Magny to win, but I like Hyun Gyu Lim too. I remember the first time I forgot who he fought, but I remember watching him, and I watched that fight like 2 or 3 times. I was pretty impressed. Like it was just playing through, and I was like, oh, I'll watch it again. Fuck. Neil Magny's on that streak, though. I'll go Neil. Fuck. Hyun Gyu Lim's Korean, though. I feel like I should root for the Korean guy just because of, like, fucking live in Koreatown. I'm going to come back to that one. Mark Munoz and Luke Barnott. This is Mark Munoz's last fight. I don't know why he's doing it. I would imagine, he had one more fight left. UFC. I think this is where he's from. So they're like, hey, look, we're doing this if you want to do one more. And he did it. And I hope he gets paid a lot of money. He sold his gym. I really don't know what he's going to do. Kung Lee's there. You going to go complain about being in a contract too, dum-dum? And about how the UFC... You know what ruined your reputation? It wasn't the drug test, okay? That's not what ruined your reputation, Kung Lee. Your reputation was ruined by that picture you put on Instagram. That's really all anyone needed to see. I used to really like Kung Lee, and now I just don't. Luke Barnott's going to smash Mark Munoz. I just don't see Mark Munoz getting in enough on Barnott. I don't see it happening. Gegard Mousasi and Costa Philippou, or Costas Philippou, or whatever the fuck he's calling himself today. I really don't know, because I swear it seems like he goes back and forth. I'm going Gegard Mousasi. He just pummeled Dan Henderson. Wasn't that his last fight? And didn't he fuck him up pretty good, or am I completely remembering this wrong? Down, down, down. How many fights? I wonder what kind of Reebok money he's getting. Yeah, Dan Henderson, TKO, 110 in the first round. That's the one Dan Henderson didn't think it should have stopped. He said he was still awake. I'm curious. Let's see. He's got 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. There's strike force. 7, 7, 7, 8. 9. Has he done anything in WEC? Didn't think so. No, 9. So tomorrow will be his 10th fight, which means I guess after that, what's he get? He'll be in the 11 to 15 category, so 25. So he'll get $10,000 a fight. I don't know. I would imagine that Gegard Mousasi could pull off more money than that per fight, but what do I know? All right, and then the main event, which is actually kind of a fun fight. Frankie Edgar and Uriah Faber. I mean, this could be so much fun, and it could be so shitty. I fully expect Uriah Faber to win. I don't think Frankie... Look, I am not a huge Frankie Edgar fan. A lot of it sure can be because I feel like anyone who has good boxing, I'm automatically turned off to. Just like, no, fuck you. I get bored with boxing, but I grew up with it. I just don't think. I think Uriah Faber is going to be too active for Frankie, and I don't mean active like energy-wise. I mean active like Uriah Faber used to do some crazy ass shit, and he used to flow with things really well. I never watched him too much in WEC. Those are just the things that I remember from the little bit that I watched of him. Maybe they were just highlight clips. I don't remember. But I associate it, and he hasn't been as great, but I associate Uriah Faber with typically dominating his opponents pretty well. I feel bad he's probably never going to have a UFC title. I really kind of do. I give the guy one. See, I mean, he basically helped build those lighter divisions. But yeah, I think Uriah Faber's going to win. I don't think Frankie Edgar's. I just don't see Frankie Edgar pulling it off. A lot of people think Frankie Edgar's going to win. I don't. I got Uriah Faber. Let me see here. Is there anything that has not been covered that I wanted to? Oh, yes, there is. All right, let's see here. Game of Thrones is awesome. I'm not going to talk about it now, though, because I want to wrap up. UFC Fan Expo we did. They did announce earlier today Lyoto Machida and Yoel Romero will headline the Tough Brazil 4 finale on June 27th. That's an interesting fight. That's a really interesting fight because that's the Lyoto, I think, can do pretty well against wrestlers if he can keep his distance. If he gets taken down, he's screwed. But wrestlers will play right into his striking. I'm curious to see how that one turns out. I covered the Bellator thing. Yeah, this is one of the things. Avengers, by the way, I don't know if I talked about that or not. I didn't. Holy fuck, was that a hell of a movie. That was just a really, really, really good movie. Alright. Loretta Hunt sent a tweet out. Let me find it. Actually, it said I favorited it, so it might be faster for me to find it here. Favorites. Come on, computer. Okay. So, maybe I need to pull this up on my phone because that's too small for me to read on my computer. The NAC started talking about punishments for, suspensions and drugs. Or not suspensions and drugs, for drugs. Loretta Hunt. I spelled her name wrong. Search. Take out whatever the fuck letter isn't supposed to be there. There we go. Got it. Okay. So. Where the fuck is it? Here it is. So for sedatives, muscle relaxants, sleep aids, anxiolytics, opiates, and cannabis. Okay? Cannabis. First offense, 9-month suspension, 20 to 30% of your purse. I'm assuming this is in competition and not out of competition. Second offense, 12-month suspension, 40 to 50% of your purse. Third offense, this is including weed. Okay? Weed. Okay? Third offense, 2 years suspension, 60 to 75% of your purse. Fourth offense, life suspension and 100% of your purse. So Nick Diaz, if he fought again, and I think he's only gotten popped 3 times. So if he fought again, he could get popped a 4th time and be suspended for life. Diuretics being used to cut weight. First offense, 12 months, 25 to 35% of purse. Second offense, 2 years, 40 to 50% of purse. Third offense, life, 100% of purse. Stimulants, amphetamines, cocaine. Poor John Jones. First, I wonder if this came out because of him. First offense, 2 years, 35 to 45% of purse. Second offense, 3 years, 50 to 60% of purse. Third offense, life, 100% of purse. Anabolic steroids. First offense, 2 years, 40 to 50% of purse. That includes testosterone and HGH. 2 years suspension on your first offense of anabolic steroids. You know, I feel like I'm kind of okay with that. You know, you either let it all go or you fucking don't let anyone get away with it. That's the only way to go. Second offense, 4-year suspension, 60 to 75% of your purse. Third offense, life and 100% of your purse. And Vanderlei, just so you know, avoiding testing, detection, urine sample not of human origin or not of tested athlete, adulterants. Adulterants. Does that mean you can't have an affair? Adulterants, drugs, including diuretics, used as masking agents. First offense, 4 years, 50% of purse. Second offense, life. And they're following WADAs. Now, another one came out. Let me see if I can find that one. A revised version of this list came out. How do I find my Twitter page? Here, because I tweeted a response to it so that I could come back to it. Down. Here we go. I think this is it. Nope, that's the original. Where's the new one? Okay, so the revised for the sedatives, muscle relaxants, sleep aids, anxiolytics, or however the fuck you say that, opiates, and cannabis. First offense is 18 months, 30 to 40% of purse. Okay, that's coming from 9 months and 20 to 30. So for weed, if you get busted for weed, you can get suspended for a year and a half. A year and a half. That's on your first offense. Second offense is 24 months, 40 to 50. Third offense is 36 months. That's 3 years instead of 2 years. Diuretics, first offense is 12 months, 30 to 40% of purse. So according to them, diuretics is first offense for diuretics, 12 months, 30 to 40% of your purse. Okay? Diuretics, things that people use to legitimately cheat, because you know they can keep the weight on, and they can take a little pill to cut weight, keep their energy up. Okay? Weed gets 18 months. That's 6 months more than diuretics, and the same percentage, 30 to 40. Okay? Anabolic steroids. First offense, 36 months, 50 to 70% of purse. Second offense, 4 years, 75 to 100% of purse. Okay, I'm okay with some of those, but let's fix the weed thing, guys. I mean, come on, you can't seriously fuck around like that. That's ridiculous. So, all right, I guess that'll do it. I'm tired. I'm done. I was gonna play some Slender Man, but I'm not sure I have the energy for it. That's a fucking crazy game. Bought that shit on PS4 on sale for like $7, and I share play it with Chineses or with random, and fuck, that's crazy. That's some shit. Yeah, that's some serious shit right there. Give me a second. I wasn't prepared.
Over?
Did you say over?
Yeah.
Nothing is over until we decide it is. Was it over when the Germans bombed Pearl Harbor? Hell no!
The Germans.
Forget it, he's rolling.
It ain't over now. Because when the going gets tough.
What does a tough get? What does a tough get? Come on. What's the tough get?
The toughs get going.
There
Who's
it
with me?
is.
Let's go. Come on.
I'm with you. I'm with you. All right. I think I'm going to play out some Superfly. Everybody, it's been real. I'll be back next week. I know Diver won't. Diver will be. Although I might try to get his little bitch ass to call in. He'll be on the beach in Florida. But I might try to get him to call in. We'll see how that goes. Have a good fucking week. Have a good fucking weekend. Enjoy the fights. WrestleMania. Oh, yeah. Payback. WrestleMania Payback. Hold on. Fuck. Who the fuck is wrestling this weekend? Because I can actually... Payback. Daniel Bryan pulled from WWE Payback and next week's TV. Well, didn't we know that? Was he supposed to? He wasn't supposed to actually wrestle, was he? That's from 5 hours ago. Oh, officially pulled. Okay. I think everyone knew what was going to happen there, though. All right, Payback. Yeah, that was sad, too. Daniel Bryan gave his belt up. I felt kind of bad for him. What do we got? We got Naomi and Tamina versus the Bella Twins. Yeah, I like Tamina. I'm glad to see her back. I'm sure that they're going to win because I think they're about to play out the Bella Twins a little bit and change up some titles. Ryback and Bray Wyatt. I have not seen SmackDown yet, so I know something happened. I don't know what. I would think Bray Wyatt's going to win this one. It's it's time for him to pull off a win on a pay-per-view because he lost to Undertaker. Although I don't think he wrestles in the next one because he was still hurt, I think. I'm pretty sure. I don't know. I think Bray Wyatt's going to win. New Day versus Tyson Kidd and Cesaro. 2 out of 3 falls. Okay, I'm starting to enjoy the New Day a little bit, but yeah, we need to end that shit. I like Tyson Kidd and Cesaro. Bring them in there. That's what we need to happen. King Barrett versus Neville. I'm looking forward to this one because Neville's fun as shit. I don't know if the crown is at stake or not, but Neville's fun, man. I like watching Neville. That's the main event. Oh, the Meta Powers. That's right, the pre-show. Okay, Curtis Axel and Macho Mandow versus the Ascension. I fucking hate the Ascension, and I hope that Curtis Axel goes Axelmania and Macho Mandow fuck the Ascension right up the ass. So tired of those two. John Cena versus Rusev in an I Quit match. I just... they're saying that this is the last time they'll fight, and this is, John Cena's already beat him twice. I just don't see. I don't see how they can make. Cena needs, you can't have Rusev lose to Cena or beat Cena. I'm sorry, Cena has to win this. He wins hands down. Fatal 4-way. I thought they were going to call it a quadruple threat, but I guess because it doesn't start with T, because triple and threat start with the same letter. Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns versus Dean Ambrose versus Randy Orton. And if Rollins doesn't win, Kane will be fired from being director of operations. Okay. Kane's going to interfere to make sure Rollins loses. And he's going to take a firing. That's fine. The question is who takes the title. I feel like they owe Roman Reigns a title. And I think that Roman Reigns winning in a match like this can work. The problem is Randy Orton and Seth Rollins, not Seth Rollins, Dean Ambrose being in there. That's a lot of crowd favorites, and Roman Reigns is not going to be the favorite to win that one. But they could have him just turn. They've been doing the, he's already getting booed, and they've been doing the accidental Dean Ambrose hitting Roman Reigns shit. I think Roman Reigns did it to Dean Ambrose once. So they're setting up for it. So I would imagine Roman Reigns is going to lose. He's going to turn heel. I'm sorry, Roman Reigns is going to win. He's going to turn heel, and he's going to pick up he's going to pick up Seth Rollins' spot. I think Seth Rollins is on his way out of the Authority anyway. And I've often wondered if this is a setup, and really Kane isn't going to be the one that gets kicked out. It's going to be Seth Rollins. Because he is acting like a little diva. But yeah, I think Roman Reigns wins and he goes bad. He turns heel. Alright, motherfuckers. Now I really am done. Let's play out with some Superfly.
Come on.
See ya.
Get with it. Yeah. Get with it, y'all. Yeah. Get with it, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Come on. I'm laying down with my homeboy LT. Yeah. Good girl. Some of y'all can feel it. Yeah. Come on. You can dance if you want to. I know you can't help it. Yeah, but check it out. It's been a while since I seen you smile. Been a minute since I've been a Bennett, but who can say the sky's the limit? I've seen a pretty bad woman, made me stop and pivot. Body, hair, face, nails looking so exquisite. Now what is it that a pimp who never simp can keep tip to the game, know when to jump shit? Now you can find me, yeah, staying high, so amazing. I'm your baby, depending on what the goal weighs in. Pimp from black, white, Puerto Rican, and Asian. Now welcome back. Now wave your hands if you're feeling that. Getting down, smoking the pound with the million stack. Back up, I creep up on them till they crack up. Take my time moving and slow and never slack up. Baby was serving me but couldn't keep the knack up. Upset that she was drinking all my yak up. It's like splitting the blunt, fill you with what you want. Loving don't have to front up it from once a month to 3 times. A fine nigga with genuine ability to keep it coming. Now when the bus running, I'll be there to get you. I play like Kodak and get the picture. I'm all down for sticking, but I can't kick it with you. So what's poppin'? You walking or the boots knocking? Yeah, I hear you talking, girl, but I'm only down for one option, baby. We can fuck around a little and get down a little, roll around the town a little. Or we can fuck around a lot, let me hit the spot, tell me if you like it or not. You know, we can fuck around a little, get down a little, roll around the town a little. Or we can fuck around a lot, let me hit the spot, tell me if you like it or not. In the club looking dipper dapper, super fly the pimp rapper, unique with heat like the gun clapper, coming after, cut from the root, the dumb with laughter, quite exquisite. I make the ladies come and pay a visit. What is it you need, baby? The weed, baby, got enough to give you the feed, baby, now take heed, baby. I fuck around with top notch, top crotch hoes with top clothes, money hungry, now stop hoes. Just because I walk in the club don't mean I'm spending the dub on you. This money's mine, think I'm acting funny, fine. I can lay back and sip the wine, cheese down, you can tell it for real. I work for mine, you confused. But can't you find feeling past the prime, looking for time away, giving the time of day. Whoever can display the sweet, smooth array, super fly, but never pay. Make them say, hey, hey. Getting hands to get to know me, you take a chance. Intrigued by my top league aura. We can fuck around for a minute or two. To get with you is like I'm feeling it. And later on I'm killing it. Baby told me her shit was like ice, so let me chill on it. Hit that ass until it was blue. Had a crib walking, knocked her ass out, no doubt. No more shit talking, who can deny it? Super flowers at your door knocking. You can even invite your friend, but this shit costs, baby. Don't get lost, baby. I'm only in for the cash, it's not for you. Shit, I only keep it true. You know what I'm saying? What the fuck I'm supposed to do? We can fuck around a little, get down a little, rolling through the town a little. Or we can fuck around a lot while I'm hitting the spot. Tell me if you like it or not. Or we can fuck around a little, getting down a little, rolling through the town a little. Or we can fuck around a lot till I hit the spot. Tell me if you like it or not. Did my part. Come on, yeah, everybody. One more time. Now would the game be different or the same? If I succumb to temptation to pay a hoe, kicking in the layer hoe, shit, what that for? Hell, motherfucking no. Giving money that's mine, hell, motherfucking no. A hoe gotta pay me to pay it, let alone lay it. Just because I'm running this town, you picked the wrong mayor. Couldn't even get me the pitching on the telly. Asking for me, I broke it down like R. Kelly. I said, no, y'all know the song. No, yeah, everybody. No, yeah. You ain't get nothing. No, not even cheeseburger. No, didn't know that super fly could sing, shining like these diamond rings. Who be bringing the heat? Who dropped her off in the street? Who rock the unique? Who popped the soft when the freak? Whoever can be living in the world paid by me. It's definitely living the dream. Definitely you can check the means, which by I don't pay. Ain't no limit to telling what super fly might say. Yeah.